about 5:35. Super cute. You should buy it or have your buyers buy it. It's the best one at Daybreak.
Love
it.
Yeah, love it.
That's it.
Fantastic.
I wasn't going to come up and then hand it in, so I have to. So 1138 Hudson, South Salt Lake. It's maybe like 8-10 minutes south of here. I don't use the word cute lightly, but I'd say it's cute.
It's cute.
So they just fully repainted it. It's going to be staged. It's going to look awesome. It's 800 square feet. It's a Rambler, 800 square feet up, 800 square feet down, 4 bed, 2 bath. That'll be a really cool house. And it's on like a nice little cul-de-sac, so it's pretty quiet, pretty walkable. And then 444 Bountiful Way in Saratoga Springs. I don't know why Saratoga Springs is the city. The address is Bountiful Way. That's going to be another single family, probably a little bit more affordable, but again, I think that's a 3 bed, 2.5 bath coming up. It'll be pretty on the lower end. So. Yeah, but you'll find out.
I want to intro right now Isaiah and Glenn. These are new members of the team. Give them a 1 clap on 2. Ready, 1, 2. Love it. Okay, go.
Yeah, so I have it's a townhome coming up in Murray off Aileen Drive. It is a 4 bed, 2.5 bath, just over 1,800 square feet, and it's in a gated community. We're going to be about $390 to $400, still dictating on price, but we're just currently getting it show ready right now.
Love it. Love it.
So I have a Mill Creek home. It's 1.75 at the moment. It's beautiful, cute. And then also a townhouse in Layton, and that one's for $35.
Is the Mill Creek one listed already or coming?
So they're actually on the market right now. They're active, and we're probably just gonna switch them to.
It's really nice. It's beautiful.
Super modern.
Fantastic. Thanks, you guys. I also have, I've got one in Canyon Rim coming up, probably $675-ish, also cute. And then I have one in South Salt Lake, also super cute.
Yeah.
So those are coming up like really, really quick.
Where's a good place to post this in Slack? Like in the Perry Group channel or a different
Listings. So the channel listings is a great spot to post your upcoming stuff. Or if you have like in the buyer needs, seller needs one, that's also a good place to find. If you have a listing, go in and find somebody that's searching for exactly what you're about to list. The other thing I want to make sure. So every single one of us that just came up with our upcoming listings, me included, we need to make sure we're posting those on our off-market page. Go on, okay, so TPG stats on our website, there is under listings, there is an off-market page right there where you can go in and import all of the information. You can toggle if it's available for showings or not available for showings, estimated price, estimated list date, all of that kind of stuff. But that is a huge piece of leverage for the rest of us when we're presenting to listings or to buyers to show what we have available that hasn't even hit the market. Right? Our stats as a team is about 20% of our transactions happen off market. So we really need to make sure that we leverage that page. Okay, so if you have an upcoming listing, no matter how far out it is, put the info on that page so that way we can start marketing it. That's another place to look for it. We can market that privately within our group. Yes?
Yes.
Everybody give me a thumbs up. Okay? Fantastic. Great. Thanks. Okay. Next week we have, not next week. March 4th, first week of March at 12 p.m. You guys should already have a calendar invite, right, Em? Calendar invite. We're doing a team building activity. We're doing tubing at Soldier Hollow in Park City. So winter tubing at Soldier Hollow, March 4th, 12 p.m. Yes, who did our tubing activity last year? It was so fun. So we're gonna do the same thing, location change. So make sure you guys hit RSVP yes on that calendar event. More details to come from Emily. But please, please, please make sure you RSVP yes so that way we know how many people to plan for. Okay? Cool? Team meeting next week, so that's February 25th. That is just as usual here in the office. Then the next week we're gonna be too big. Cool. Okay. All right. Okay. If you are new to the team, this is your first team meeting. Go ahead and stand up for me. This is your first team meeting. We haven't introed you guys. Yes. Okay. Great. I love it. Give us name, how long you've been in real estate, and what's a good icebreaker question?
Favorite dance move, prove it.
Oh.
Starting with Chris.
I'm just messing with you.
He's like, oh, I gotta.
No, stretch out, right? My name's Isaiah Gray. I have been in real estate for active a year and a half, full time. I've been licensed for 3 years, started in California, and I can dance when I'm in the mood.
Clearly, I actually wasn't gonna play it.
Get him in the mood, Chris.
That's Scott's bully job.
My name is Glendale, and I've been doing this for about 2 years. And I'm gonna give a shout out to Carly. I'm here because of her. She's the best.
Whoa, hold up.
Okay.
Trevor, I don't think you can tell someone to back that up.
Carly introduced me to the real estate world,
There you go.
and Trevor wouldn't leave me alone.
That sounds about right.
Yes. And if you want me to dance, I need a dance partner because I can dance some bachata and I don't know.
Ooh, I love it.
So my name is Matt Johnson. Been in real estate for a little over a year now. Shout out to Tina.
Yeah.
I'm kind of give me a few drinks and you'll see all the dance moves.
I love it. Okay, thanks you guys. Let's give that group of people a 2 clap on 2. Ready? 1, 2. Welcome to the team. I think that's it for me. Josh, you ready? Yeah.
Hey, what's up everyone? How you guys doing? Alright, so I'm just going to give you a quick update with the market and everything. So today, after President's Day, the market's opened up. Not the best, but not the worst. The bond market is down 10 basis points. The 10-year Treasury is up 5. If you're wondering what's the reasoning for that, when really there's no like headlines or any market movers, it's one thing that we never really think of is other countries. And so Japan has hit their highest yield since 2009, and that's even after they have increased their rates sooner than they were expecting. So a lot of that had kind of an impact on our bond market in the fact, well, mostly in our yields, because it was putting a heavy emphasis on what's going to happen with it. And you just have to remember, yes, we mostly focus on our markets in the United States, but globally we're all interconnected. So things like with what Japan's doing or with what Europe's going through with possibly increasing their expenses on defenses has also had an impact on the yields. So the main thing to just remember and think about is no one really knows what's going to go on. It's pretty volatile right now with the rates going up and down and the bond pricing. So the sooner you guys are able to get the clients to us, the more likely we're able to at least dial things in and kind of anticipate possible changes and things. And then when we know they're making offers and they're about to go into contract, it's not our money, so we kind of like to be more on the conservative side and like to lock them as soon as possible, knowing where things are going to go. Some people like to float it, but you run the risk of, well, if the rates go up the following day, those seller credits that you guys negotiated may have an impact to the point where they might not have the full amount of money that they were expecting to be bringing in. So the sooner the better, kind of cuts down things and minimizes and lets us get things going on our end. And there you go.
So just, people always ask, what are rates now?
So it depends on what kind of buyer we're looking at.
Average buyer.
I would say with I'd say 6.875 with no seller concessions, especially first-time home buyers and jumbo loans. The jumbo loans have been really great. So I think the market has a bigger appetite with first-time home buyers making income under $83,000 and jumbo loans 25% down. You get a bigger break on the rate.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, John.
Yep.
Hello everyone, my name is Tristan and I'm the sales manager at Novation Title. And today, woo, thanks guys. Today I'm going to, we are sharing our new app. It's launched. We are so excited. So on everyone's, on these tables, I've left a QR code for you guys all to scan to create an account. And with our new app, you can get listing net sheets and buyer estimates and multiple offer comparisons, which is really cool. So I also left samples of the multiple offer comparisons on the tables as well, with an example of one. So with the multiple offer comparisons, if you have a listing, you have multiple offers on it, you can now go through and add up to 5 on each property, the different, offers. And you can add notes to it. You can heart your favorite one, whichever one you recommend. So this is just another really cool tool that we have. And this is also the app for our new farming module. So this Thursday at 12:15, we are teaching our new farming tool here at this office. So please attend, and we'll teach you how to use our farm tool. That's all we got.
Hi, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Novation real quick. So we would love and ask you guys to start sending business there. I know some of you already have, and we've had great feedback. So I've said before up here that we will never ask you guys to use a subpar vendor so that we can make a few extra dollars. We have made changes over the last year because of that, and we have gone away from short-time and long-time partners because of that. I am extraordinarily confident today, don't screw it up. I'm extraordinarily confident today that this is an incredible partner. I think they've done more trainings and brought more tools to us as a team than we've seen a title company do ever. And I think the first time we made it public that we were going to be in business with them was like 30 days ago. So thank you for everything you're doing for our team. But we need you guys to start sending business there. So just to give you some context, the reason that teams have really aggressive splits, I know we had an agent on our team that said she made $60,000 last year at her last team, and she made $200,000 this year at this team. That's because of splits and a little more business, but mostly splits. The way that we can keep splits where they are and keep making some money is to have different ventures, and that's why you see everybody do it. I know Edge has a title venture. They make plenty of money everywhere, but they make a lot of money off of their joint venture title company. So, yeah, you're welcome out. I can't see Travis, he's hiding. So obviously we talk about rev share and stuff like that. It also gives us stability. So like if the market turned and we stopped selling as many houses, rev share is one that would be impacted, but we would be able to stabilize the team and the splits and everything else because there's rev share income coming into the Perry Group and the owners of the Perry Group. Title's another one, obviously lender helping on lead sources. So we basically, as far as you guys are concerned, the JV is essentially in place. So we have staffing. We'll be announcing and introducing staffing for Utah County. The team that's here is the team that's going to be a part of the joint venture. So it's not like, hey, we're going to flip the switch one day and say we have a joint venture. Here's 3 new people to get to know. The people that are here in the room are the people. So get to know them. We're signing a lease, I think, today on a rad office down in Utah County. It's like it's a 2-story, brand new brick building, black windows. It's incredible. So they have an office right now in Fort Union, I guess, officially. So that's the office for you guys. Please get to know them. Please start sending business there. it is we've talked about this all the time. Title's a relationship business, and we get that. There are a million rules that can give you like a birthday gift under $25.
We can't
They can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore. They can't do anything. They can give you a high.
Or if you have
They like
a
the
child, a bun or dad.
Okay. They can give you a high five as long as no one's looking.
We can bring you value and build your business.
Yes. There will be opportunities as well as some of our top agents will be invited to be in the joint venture. And there's a revenue opportunity there that is actually completely legal, unbelievably, for some of you as top agents to make extra money. So all of those things, but my ask today is please start sending your business there. They are a great partner. The feedback, Ryan posted something, thank you. Ryan had a closing. They kicked him out of the room. They did a video testimonial with his clients about how great Ryan was. He got it back the same day, can post it on social. They do some things nobody else does in the title world. So start sending your business there. I have two other things.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I was going to anyway. Next week's team meeting is a regular team meeting, but our TCs will be here, so please be here. Please spread the word. Kim is coming up. Also, Beth is going on maternity leave in the next week or two. So we made it really easy, and we hired another Kim. So there's two Kims. Kim.
John.
Yes, John Berry, John Perry, Kim Hildreth. Kim Hildreth refuses to call someone by Kim, so she's calling the new one La Fonda, which I think is from Napoleon Dynamite, if I'm not mistaken. So, but please call her Kim. She will be here next week. So basically, they've taken best people, they're splitting the team. We did not want to do that without putting a face to the name of you that love Beth, because Beth's incredible, and you're going to have to get passed off because she's having a baby. So next Tuesday, please be here. Make sure that you're able to meet them. Kim has been with us for 45 days or so training, so she's up and running, and she's been doing this a long time. She's really, really good. So last thing, this is a thank you and just I'm not going to go sad, but I posted a GoFundMe on Slack, and a handful of you donated. Thank you for doing that. I lost a friend last week. He struggled for a long time with mental health and self-medication and things. So this is me saying, a lot of you call me with broker stuff. I'm raising my hand to say I have tried every depression medication in the book. I've tried everything that's out there. I go to therapy every week. If you're struggling, and this is a business where a lot of people struggle because there's not a lot of structure at times. If you're struggling, please make me a phone call as well. I will connect you with the right people and make sure you get taken care of. And also just a little PSA, check on your people. It really, really sucks when you lose something. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Drew. I just want to add to what Drew said. Please, if you're an agent here on our team and you're struggling and you're wondering, should you get out of the business, what's going on with your life, please talk to us. Don't be like, take it all alone. So I just encourage you. We're an open book. We all have, I'll say this, we all have problems and we all have issues. I have a lot more than all of you because I'm a little bit older than all of you, but we all have them. We all have those struggles. So, but Drew, I appreciate your involvement and everything. So, okay, Jake, did I see you over there, Jake? No. Come here for a second. Come here for a second, Jake. So I want to ask you. You're just gonna answer a couple questions, yes, no. Okay. How hungry are you for real estate?
Hungry.
Are you like I don't know if you know, there's 4 levels of hunger we have. And so like what level are you at? Are you at like, oh, I'm a little bit hungry, or maybe like I'm really like starving to the point? So I want to ask you this. I want to challenge you to see if you would do it. I don't know if there's that many people that are gonna do it. Some 15 years ago, when I first became a real estate agent, one of the instructors, teachers I had, he had joined a brokerage some 30, 35 years ago, and his broker said to him, Russ, you cannot go home until you schedule one appointment with a new potential buyer or seller. So that means at 9 o'clock at night, you get to call your significant other or your spouse and you say, hey, I'm not coming home tonight because I made a commitment to Jack that I can't leave the office until I make one appointment. Jake, you've been married for how long now?
4 months.
When did you get married?
October.
Okay, so 4 months. Okay, if you called your wife at 9 o'clock tonight and said you're not coming home, what would she say?
Are you joking?
And if you told her the commitment that you made that you couldn't go home until you get an appointment set, what would she say?
Set an appointment.
So, okay, so you call her at 9 o'clock tonight and say, honey dear, can you bring me a pillow and a sleeping bag and a toothbrush? Because I didn't see, how motivated would you be tomorrow to set an appointment?
I'd be very motivated, ready to go.
So, okay, that's it. Go sit down. That was no stress. It was like, you know. So I challenge you that way. That if I said to you, Ryan, you cannot go home today until you set an appointment. Man, you might spend one day here. It might not be like, man, it's not so bad spending the night here. But if you had to spend 2 or 3 nights, how motivated would Ryan be? We would all say he would be very motivated. And so I'll say this, Ryan, you got my permission to go home tomorrow. You get here at 9 o'clock in the morning. You set an appointment, you go home with a new potential buyer or seller. You do that every single day, I guarantee you Ryan's got tons of business. But we kind of look at it like this, like, oh, if I don't set an appointment, I will go home and start the new day tomorrow. But I just want to challenge each one of you is that, man, we're already, a month and a half into it. How many of you saw the Super Bowl? Did you notice one team killed another team? I don't know if you know this, but halfway through the first quarter, announcers, sports writers started talking about the Chiefs are in trouble. They knew something that the average person doesn't know, that they weren't looking good. And some of you already are being Philadelphia Eagle people that you're crushing it. You're kind of like, this is wonderful. But then there's others that are kind of like thinking, it's going to change. I just want to encourage you to think, as you set appointments, you get business. As you set new appointments with buyers and sellers, you get appointments. So challenge you that. Tomorrow when you come here, that you have to spend the entire day here. You can't leave. You can't even go down the street and get something to eat until you got an appointment. DoorDash? No DoorDash, none of that. You'd be like, hey, I'm going to be really serious about this. So I just encourage you to make appointments, make deals. So I encourage you to have a high standard in that, and you will crush it. Don't let it come October, November, and you go, man, I wish I tried it a little bit different. Start making it happen right now. So, Edge people, you're next. Give the Edge a big hand.
Before I did this, I was an escrow officer for about a year, in title, doing all sorts of different things for about 2 years. So I want to talk today about split closings because you guys are probably going to have a lot more coming up. With Edge, even though we have our own title company, as long as you guys write in at time of contract, buyer to close with Novation Title, and put their contact information, you can do a split closing. So your buyers will close with Novation.
One of the only builders that does this thing. Yeah.
We figured we want a deal rather than keeping title in-house, right? Like, the seller will still close with our title company, but as long as you write in at time of contract, we can do a split closing.
And we'll do our best to remind you, because I know you've got a ton on your mind. So we'll do our best to remind you at the time of contract. One other thing we wanted to talk about is tomorrow at our model home in Lehigh, we're doing headshots for free. So if you need a new headshot, drive down to Lehigh, come and see us, text Travis or I, and we can get you on the list. We also wanted to make sure you all know that our model homes, we've got about 20 of them now. Yeah. They're all open, they're all staged, so if you need content, if you need to come and take pictures, anything like that, let us know. We'll have them open for you. You're more than welcome whenever. Thanks, guys.
Tony and Boo. Why don't you give Boo and Tony a big hand? Is Tony not coming out?
He's coming after.
Oh, okay. So if you have not met Boo, he leads our Utah County office, and he's Boo and I go way back. We're best friends.
Best friends.
Leads is a really strong term. We're not going to use leads. I try to keep the train on the tracks for as long as I can until Emily can get down there on Wednesdays and get it all put back together. So, okay, so I want to give you guys a quick update. Like my little brothers just talked about, we're here to talk about new construction. So last week, just kind of keep you guys updated, I told you guys I have a personal goal of representing 150 units. Last week we interviewed on just under $45 million worth of new construction, new build representation. The week before that, Scott, Willie, and I, we officially landed our very first development in Midvale, coming probably towards the middle of this year, 27 townhomes, so we're super excited about that. But here's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because the principles that I'm here to talk about are very fascinating. Who in here has been attending all of the listing trainings that have been going on over the last couple of weeks? So it's very, very fascinating to me because we talk about principles that Maggie is teaching, that we are teaching in Utah County. And what was very fascinating to me, and Scott can attest to this, the conversation around 27 townhome units went very, very similar to going and sitting in somebody's living room and trying to tell them why you should be the one to sell their $500,000 townhome. The things that we talked about, why am I paying you more than the other people? We got shopped against somebody that was willing to do it for half of what we were willing to do it for. The principles are the same. We got asked, what are you guys going to do to market my property? What are you going to do to get more eyes on this than anybody else can offer? Same principle. We had to do an evaluation of pricing. Ours is a little bit different. It has a little bit more strategy maybe involved because we have to sell 27. We have to generate some velocity early on. We have to hit an average price point. But the principle that we discussed are exactly the same. So my advice to all of you is to double down, re-engage, and buy into everything that we are training on in here, because the principles, I don't mean to take anything out of what Dustin used to teach when he was preaching, but these principles are what we would refer to in the spiritual world as eternal principles. These are eternal principles that we are teaching. It doesn't matter if you're trying to go and sell a $350,000 condo in West Jordan, or if you're trying to go and land a $3 million listing in Park City. They're going to ask you, can you do it for cheaper? Can you do it better than everybody? And can you get more eyes on this than anybody else? So buy in, double down, because I promise you, from a leadership team, we are never going to train on something that is not going to be relevant. I think that's what makes this leadership team so different than every other brokerage and every other team out there. You don't have people that used to be brokers or used to be agents 30 years ago standing up and saying, hey, this is how we should be doing it, because back in 1994, this is what used to work to get eyes on a property. So double down, understand that everything that we're going to be training on, everything that we are continuing to teach on, is going to go through a rigorous audit to make sure that we feel like this is going to be the best thing to give value to our agents, because to us as a leadership team, you are all our clients. And if we cannot turn around and give you something of value to give to your clients, we are failing, and I promise you we are never going to fail you guys. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Hey, thank you so much for having us. For Boo and I, it's a pleasure to be up here. We're going to try to be up here more often. So in our office, if you've been down there, you know that we have a lot of new agents. So part of what I try to do each and every day, I've been doing this for a long time. This is year 14. I started as a showing agent. I became a principal broker, had my own agency, sold that agency to come here to the Perry Group. The reason why I share that is because a lot of my communication to the newer agents is the virtues of this team that I feel that we can often take for granted a little bit if we don't have it top of mind. So we often share in Utah County this concept of what I think the Perry Group does better than any other team out there is these guys have mapped every single thing that an agent needs in order to transact. They've basically built a business in a box. And every single person here, we are all independent contractors. Like, we are all responsible for our own business. But when we select a brokerage, when we select a team,
In essence, the way I view it is you're selecting a servicing company for your business that is supposed to deliver the logistical support, the resources that we all need in order to transact. And so when new agents come and start the interview process, and we talk about splits, and we talk about fees, and we talk about costs, we talk about all those things, what I often share is that the agents that do well here are agents that understand two core principles. Number one, that you have to put in the work. I know that Salt Lake County doesn't have mandatory office hours, we do, but it's agents that understand that if you want to hit your numbers and hit your goals, you have to put in the time. There are so many agents that think that they work long hours, and they really don't. We're doing all sorts of other stuff. So that's number one. And number two, before I get out of here, it's agents that understand how to run their business like a business. Any successful business is going to have costs. Any successful business needs resources, needs logistical support, needs staff, needs all of these things in order to be successful. But sometimes as agents, we want to take the entire peanut instead of a slice of a massive watermelon. So what I would just encourage everybody here, just always keep that in mind. From somebody that has seen this in a bunch of different ways, this team gives you everything you need in order to transact successfully. If leadership does their job right, you shouldn't have to go out and purchase all these other softwares, all these other coaching programs, all this other stuff. It should all be here within these four walls, and I've never seen it done at a higher level. So I just wanted to give kudos to the Perry Group in general. That's one of the things that we're always pushing to our agents down in Utah County. Being new agents, to treat your business like a business and really learn the resources. Learn how to leverage Zillow properly. Learn how to be better. Learn everything that the Perry Group provides. There are so many agents in Utah County that didn't know that the Perry Group pays for mailers, for example. Something small, yet it's something that could be very, very useful. So all of the resources that are at all of our disposal, learn them, use them. Get really, really familiar with them and your business will thrive. I promise you 100%. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much.
Tell us where, take you down to Utah County showing homes. Where's the office?
So we are right off of I-15 in Pleasant Grove, right behind the Tesla dealership. So I know there's a couple of Tesla people in here. So it's right off of, it's just east of the freeway off of 500 East in Pleasant Grove.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Hi.
Woo!
Hi.
Okay. Alright. Someone say hi again? Oh. Alright. So this kind of stemmed from, sorry, never had a mic before. So this stemmed from basically the last time when Michael, a couple weeks ago when Michael did the demonstration of becoming a neighborhood expert. A couple things that to me was awesome, and I also was like, I didn't even think to do that because I'm not a real estate agent. And so I kind of started talking with Michael a lot about the ways that an agent would actually use ChatGPT, because the examples that I was attempting to highlight were not highlighting the correct things to make it something that's actually powerful. So when I recently updated the team account to the pro version of the account, and so you can go into the pro version of the account so that you can have access to all of the OpenAI ChatGPT higher end models. But when I did that, I put it on my phone, and I had completely forgotten that I put it on my phone. And I started interacting with it, and it was responding in a way that didn't match what I was expecting. And I had completely forgotten that I'd signed into the team account on my phone. And what was so weird about it is that as I kept asking questions, it kept seeming like it had no idea who I was. So then, I just want to give a couple examples of how differently it would answer. So, the first question that I asked, I ran out of breath 10 minutes ago. Can't catch my breath. Sorry. All right, so a question that I had asked previously when I was using my personal account, because it was answering in a way where it seemed to know me, I asked it to describe my personality. And this is the point when I was like, something seems off because it feels like it doesn't know me, which I never even thought I would have even thought with ChatGPT. So I said, describe my personality, and it said this. And at this point, I actually panicked because I was like, the reason why I panicked is because it knew me so well that it was giving me significantly better answers because of how well it knew me. And when it gave me this answer, I was like, I don't even know how to get it back to where it was because I thought that I had lost all the memories that it had of me. This is what it actually says on my personal profile. It goes into way more than I would have expected. I mean, the very end, I don't even know how it would have gotten that I have a dry sense of humor because I didn't tell it to remember that. But this is how different, because one of the things that it kept doing is it kept giving me answers that went into way too many details. And this one basically makes it so it does, because it understands me, it doesn't do that. Here's another example. So, I said that I had the flu and need to get over it ASAP. This is one that I actually asked on my personal account before, and then I just wanted to see what it said on the generic account. So it says the obvious things that you didn't even need to ask. Obviously, you need rest, hydration, and all the other things. On mine, I told it to never tell me something obvious. So it actually gets straight to the point and giving me a helpful answer. So just as something as simple as telling it to not elaborate on things that I don't need to know about or that I would have already thought of, it skips all of that and just goes directly to the things that would actually be of interest. So this is such a huge feature that ChatGPT has, and it's the memory part. And if you ever write anything in ChatGPT, every once in a while you'll see a little icon saying that updated the memory. What I would encourage you to do as you're using ChatGPT is if it responds in a way that you don't like or that you do like, tell it to remember to continue responding that way. Because it will massively speed up how long it takes to get to a good answer. So you won't have a bunch of time wasted of trying to figure out how to get the right prompt. Because I found that I accidentally set it up so that I am setting it up with the right prompt without even realizing it, because it understands who I am. And then, I just gotta show one other thing. This is just a random example. This one will be really quick, but as part of the Pro account, you guys can all access this. So if you sign into the Teams ChatGPT account and you go to Operator, Operator makes it so that it's an AI agent, so you can tell it to go do something and it will go do that thing. So I told it that I wanted it to find Shane Gillis tickets for when he's in Utah, and I just said any seats on the floor. And it actually goes through and finds them, and you're able to watch it as it's going through the browser, and at the point where you need to take control, it will ask you to take control, and then you just tell it to do whatever. I cannot catch my breath. So we never walked that far.
Could you use Operator? That's why you want me to take the battle, though.
Yeah.
Can you use Operator then to do what people do to try to snag high in demand tickets before they sell out to bots?
No, because I mean,
Build it, Johnny.
no, because operator is the point of that one is it's doing something that you. This is extremely useful for if you're like, I need reservations at 7 p.m. at this place, and then it will notify you when it's at the step where it's like, I need you to take over. But it will take care of everything up until that step, but it's not something where it's like, it's not going to be faster than you just doing it. It's a thing where it's going to evolve over time, but it would be a thing where if it's going to take a little bit of time to figure out how much something might cost or whether or not a reservation or a ticket is available, just telling it to go do that and then knowing that you're going to come back to it later, that's where operators are really valuable. It's also just cool to see how it's functioning like on the inside. Then the last thing, going back to Michael's demonstration of the neighborhood expert. So if you go to, I'm going to start adding these to GBG stats, but over here under GBTs, I'll just be putting new GBTs that should hopefully be built very helpful tools for you guys. So what this one does is, I just need to grab a Zillow URL real quick. So you are also welcome to jump on to GBT stats and then just click that neighborhood expert. But all that you have to do is paste the URL, and it goes through, there were 4 questions that Michael asked. It was tell me about the home, tell me about the schools, similar properties, and to analyze the price. So all that you have to do now is just paste the URL, and it will do all that for you. And I'll also, if you log into the account, you can also see what is happening behind the scenes, like what is getting it to do this. And you can see how detailed the prompt is and how specific the language is to get it to do something. So I think it's looking at how it does it is very helpful in understanding how you can get it to consistently respond with something, and you can also just copy this and create your own. So if you're like, one thing that I thought of was like, it could also be, one of the questions could be, give me 3 activities that somebody would do in this area. And it will just automatically generate that for you, and all you have to do is give the link. But, yeah. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, so just so people are encouraged to like use the pro account. So like the subscription I have, right, is whatever, like $20, $25 a month. The pro account is significantly more than that because of its capabilities. If people on the team have suggestions or ideas of like, it would be amazing if we had a GPT that did this, how do you want them to communicate that to you?
That's a good question. Tell me on Slack. Yeah, but I would love to do that because I want to add as many that would be helpful. But yeah, reach out to me on Slack and also include John Barry. Identical sounding names, but he's my assistant and he's amazing. Very weird that we have the same sounding name.
Can you go back to the personality when it said weird?
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if the word psycho was in there or not. No, but can you tell people how do you navigate to where the memory is saved? Because that's a way to double check that it's saved the correct thing. So just show people how to do that.
Look at you with all the good questions. Okay, so it's actually over time you'll start to develop pretty funny memories, like funny memories that it saves. So one of the ones that's very funny about me that it says is that I don't want to be referred to anybody ever. and just assume that I know how to do everything. Because it's not helpful when it's like, if I'm like, how do I wire my electricity? And it's like, contact an electrician. You know, like, now I'm gonna try it though. But to access the memories, you're gonna click the icon. Obviously, the memory thing is not really gonna apply if you're accessing the team account because it's gonna have memories of everybody. The team, I highly encourage you to have your own account. The team account is if you're not convinced that it's awesome yet, and if you're wanting to try out, like you can try out things like Sora, like the thing to generate videos. So you go into settings, and then personalization, and then manage memories. So right now it's already saved some. You'll want to, every once in a while, you'll want to go in and get rid of, like, if it says remember something that is not something that you wanted to remember, like if you were like asking a question on behalf of someone else and remember the wrong thing about that, then you would get rid of that. But even something as simple as like, if it's overusing, like I think Scott said that likes to use the word vibrant, tell it to never use the word vibrant again. And it will stop using the word vibrant. So things like that. If it's overusing any word or a way of speaking, just tell it to stop doing it, and it will, the more that you do that, the better the responses will continue to be. All right.
I'm gonna sit too. The brothers who sit. Sorry I look like a skateboarder today. I thought I was gonna go home. Don't go to appointments like me. How's everybody doing? Great. Woo! Okay, some fun little things. I would love participation today. That is my main goal for the next 10 minutes. First, I'm going to give a little market update. How do people feel like the market is right now? Moving. I agree. I think it's moving. Why do people feel it's slow? Or why do people feel it's moving fast? Or
I would say their mindset.
what do you feel on mindset?
I think you get out of it what you put into it.
Okay.
I feel like I'm seeing a lot of multiple offers right now, and
Yeah.
offers within just a couple of days, things being listed. You go there 2 days later and your clients are like, I want to put an offer, they've already got 2 offers.
Yeah. What price range do you feel that's in?
Mostly around 400 to 500 is what I'm noticing move really fast.
Cool. I agree. What else?
I feel like there's not a lot of houses above like that 1 million, like 1.5 range right now. And if there is, we go really fast, especially in like Sandy, Concord area. There's just not enough right now. So you do find that multiple offers.
Yeah. 100%. One last opinion.
Come on, Scott.
We've had like a very little amount of snow this year, and so I think you're seeing more activity in showings of houses because the weather just facilitates it more than we've had in previous seasons this time of year.
Completely agree. Okay, I'm going to go through a little exercise. I'm going to talk a little bit about ChatGPT in a second, but I think how important it is to understand how a market transacts. This is both for buyers and sellers. Raise your hand if you really feel like you've taken a listing where you know what price it's actually going to sell at. Okay, and then raise your hand if you feel like you're shooting in the complete dark. I call bluff if it's not a lot of times you feel like you're shooting in the dark. If you operate in older areas, older homes. And I think the exercise for this today, it's what I've talked about a bunch, but it goes to like the Tom Ferry exercise, and we're gonna go through price reductions. But I think Scott and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. He listed a house where he called me and he was like, hey, I'm completely shocked this house is getting offers. I think this house isn't that nice. And then we've been on the other end of the spectrum where it's like, I'll never do this again, but I told the seller, your house is gonna get multiple offers, and I got one. And so I think you're shooting in the dark a lot of times based off interest rates, based off comps. Like I know Sugar House, one house will sell for $300,000 more than the one right next to it. And so I think, great if you have it mastered and you know the price and everything, but the exercise I'm talking about today is the 3 to 5% rule. And this, I have a couple examples. So my Harvard listing, it comps out. Everything you list right now basically comps out. Like that's what you gotta realize when you're talking to a seller. You can really get a house to comp out to anything you want it to. Unless you're in like a true new build area only. And so I think you really gotta be picky on actually understanding the comps that you're comping out to. So Harvard, it's a big listing. We listed it, I think, $3 million. We dropped it. Can anyone tell me what the 3, 5, 7% rule is that I've talked about? Yeah.
It's like 7%, like if you're not getting showings, then you're like 7%. If you're not getting offers, but you're getting showings, you're like 5% or something like that.
Yeah, you nailed it. So if you're not getting showings, and this is why really good relationships with other agents matter, so you can actually understand, like let's say you're the buyer. But the rule is if you're not getting showings, you're 7 to 10% off. Like you're in a dark place if you're going weeks without showings, no matter the purchase price point. And then you can almost guarantee just about every time if you're doing it correctly. Like I'm so anti-dropping a house $10,000 to pick up traction. And so this was from a Tom Ferry presentation to where if you're having 3, 5, 7 showings and you're not getting an offer, you're typically always 5% away, 3 to 5% away from getting an offer. Does not mean you're 3 to 5% from selling the house. And I think that's a really key point to make. But you're 3 to 5% away from getting an offer. And so that's what we did with Harvard. I think we dropped 5.5%. And then there's a listing on Lakeline that was listed at 1.5, 1.4, and then a new agent took over and dropped it, I think 5%, got multiple offers and sold. And I think that's what's so, you really got to pay attention to like the data and transacting. And I think the last point I'll give on the market. Did anyone see that house on? It was like 1250 Harvard, listed at 650. Okay. Maggie, is that you? You said yeah? Did you see it? Like,
Not in person.
Okay. Anybody else know the house? Really cute bungalow. There's houses on the same street that sell for $2.5 million. There's one that sold, I think, a month before for 2.5. This one was a lot smaller, listed at 650. This is why I'm like, you are shooting darts to a lot of people, and that's why, especially going into spring, write the offer. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how hard you're getting bluffed by agents. This house had, I think it was 13 offers. It was the cheapest house in that Harvard-Yale area to come on in maybe 2 years that like wasn't on the corner. Listed at 650 with a house that sold for $2.5 million down the street, 10, 11 offers. What does someone think that would sell for? If I'm the agent and saying, this house is crazy, insane amount of offers. As you can tell, there's a person every time you show it. What would you think a house like that would land at?
750.
I heard 750 to 9. Guess what it sold at? 675. That's the point. There's a house in my neighborhood, the exact same listing strategy. It was listed, I think, on Ochre for like $775, 12 offers, same amount of showings. Guess what that sold for? $975. You really don't know, I think, and I think that's the point, and that's why I'm so big on presentation. That's why I'm so big on nailing marketing from the very beginning. You really, really don't know. A lot of how real estate transacts is, does a buyer come in, like your place, and do they pre-qualify? The appraisal's not going to correct it. Other offers aren't going to correct it. It's just someone like the place and the way you presented it, and will they transact with that seller? And I think you can take that exact same approach to buyers. If it's been on for a couple days, they want to offer $50,000 below, don't get in the way, because there's sale after sale after sale on the MLS that transacts for what your buyer wants to offer. Where I feel like every buyer and seller is still stuck in the pandemic. Every buyer, when it's multiple offers, what do they think? Like, yeah, what Chris just said, like, sell your child kind of thing. Like, that's what people are still used to, and I think you have to understand that. And then you have sellers who are, they're becoming a little more reasonable. My last question then, we're out of time. So last question. This has done me really well in my career. I am like, there are so many agents in this room who make me feel insecure. They post their schedule and they go on so many appointments, and I believe it. And I'm like, I don't take nearly the amount of appointments. I definitely don't work that hard, but we'll sell close to the same amount of real estate. And I think it's because I've gotten really good at a couple things. And for me, it's like design. I know houses. I know what they'll sell for in the neighborhoods they'll sell for. And people trust that. And so is there anything that people feel like they're really good at in this room that they want to share? Chris?
Explaining things to people.
I agree. You're really good at that.
Phrases. Free encouragement session right there.
What else?
Speak up, yo.
I looked at you, Hannah. Maggie? I feel like I'm really good at explaining the market to clients in a way that is a lot. I've had so many agents with clients or my own clients who will say the market is going down, or they just have this big blanket statement and this big blanket perspective about how homes are selling right now. And I feel like I'm very good at saying that might be true, but each individual home creates its own little micro market based on its presentation, pricing strategy, location, all of those things. And so you can't take this giant macro level, blanket statement and apply it to every single home. We're going to have to approach each home specifically based on, all of those factors.
100%.
And I feel like that clients really understand that. They say, oh, okay, I get it.
100%. What else? Anybody else?
You guys are so good. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm great at just building rapport with people and getting them to open up to a point to where I can really key in on like what their need is in that initial meeting.
Yeah.
That's a great skill set.
Yeah.
Knowledgeable in different areas, and also bringing in people that can actually assist, whether it's with their home repairs, mortgages, lending, bringing in reports that, third party is a big deal. It's not just me that's working for them, it's a team.
100%. Scott, what do you feel like you're really good at?
I would like to think, what's that tiny t-shirt? I'd like to think that I'm good at problem solving, of like, hey, let's come up with a creative solution, like just because you have this one problem. I don't know, I'd like to think I'd get creative with either structuring deals or what we're looking for, and give them opportunities that maybe they hadn't considered before.
Yeah. I think you're super creative. And that is like what I encourage to, I think, every single one of you. Do you have something? I saw a hand. No? No? Cool. You need, like, I think I'm begging desperately. You're in a room where contracts are so common, and it's so easy to get wrapped up in the, like, take a Zillow lead, answer the call, service them. But I think what will serve you long-term to being really good at real estate is understanding what you're unbelievable at. And I think I'll pick on Spencer. I do all the time. I have not heard a bad piece of feedback or dialogue from anyone in this city about Spencer Ford. Everybody knows him. Everybody wants to talk to him. And he has a relationship or contact for literally everything. And so it doesn't need to be, you need to be good at marketing or you need to be good at design. But I do think you need to be able to stand on something to where you can create community from what you're good at. And like that's the last line I'll leave you. How can you create a community of buyers and sellers based off what you are really good at? And I think you'll struggle in your real estate career if that isn't a simple answer. That's all I got. Is that it, Jack-o'-lantern?
Just Davis and Weber County. We're having lunch downstairs, so if you're from Davis, Weber County, head downstairs for food. And so